It's really important for students to have access to a wide range of creative tools because that actually teaches them how to get an idea from out of their mind and then actually create it in reality.
Access to 21st century tools create 21st century skills. Some of these coveted skills include critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, communication, media and technology literacy.
I think we live in a day and age where young people are always creating content, whether it's on their mobile phones, whether it's in computer games, or whether it's in schools. And I think that teachers have got a great opportunity to become facilitators. How do we guide young people into a wider world of creativity and innovation in what they do? Then also, how do they see the skills? How do they skill up and how do they level up with these skills of innovation and creativity?
Ever since our earliest ancestors used creative tools to make new things, we followed in their lead, using creative tools to express ourselves, represent the human condition, and engage in creative tasks. Today, more and more people have access to the most powerful creative tools ever invented, and those who learn how to use them can make the greatest impact. Creativity is one of the most prized skills in the modern workforce. Digital literacy is the ability to use information and communication technologies to find, evaluate, create, and communicate information. Digital literacy skills and creativity work together in tandem. When young people use digital tools, like Creative Cloud Express and Premiere Rush to communicate their ideas to one another and collaborate to create new things, they build digital literacy skills too. But not all creative tools available to your students are physical objects. Some are digital tools that will allow them to make their thinking visible, solve complicated problems, and create entirely new realities. Digital tools are ever evolving, and students need to learn how to learn them. We need to learn new tools to expand the way we work and create. Digital tools inspire new ways of thinking. The more powerful the tool, the more powerful the work students can do.
Digital tools have opened up the possibilities on how I can share my story. I can create a video, I can create a song, I can share graphics, photography, so many different ways, and even combine all of those, whereas before I was not able to.
Using digital tools to help with expression can be useful for students across the age range. I found that for young students, especially bright young students or students with disabilities, something as simple as keyboarding can make a world of difference. Suddenly, they're able to put ideas out there in ways that people can understand, and we can see their thinking in ways that we simply could not when they were struggling with their handwriting and their big fat pencils and little stubby fingers. The one thing that we need to be careful of, or at least one of many things we need to be careful of when we're thinking about using technological tools, is to make sure that the tool doesn't become the purpose. Tools are helpful in expressing creative ideas, but we don't want the flash of the tool to overcome the importance of the ideas they're expressing.
So there's a range of tools that we use in education. So we're always helping young people to create digital portfolios, to create websites, to create CVs. And I think that more and more they're able to use these tools to solve social impact projects in the local areas, helps them to have really strong portfolios. So helping our young people to connect to a social impact problem and to a skill that is relevant will definitely empower them to make really cool decisions in when they're using creativity in everyday experiences.
As educators, our job is twofold. To learn how to effectively think about and use creative tools ourselves, and to teach those tools, skills, and processes to our students. We know that young people are extremely capable of learning new tools, some that are supported by technology and some that are not. But we don't know what students will create until we put powerful tools in their hands. The best learning environments provide opportunities for students to discover what they love and what they are passionate about. Only then can they begin to use creative tools and their imaginations to change the world around them.
I learned at university that you have to learn how to learn tools. Interfaces change, capabilities increase, and you are never a master of a program because next week it's going to be able to do something else. You always have to go at it as a learner and a student.
I support my students to be able to continuously learn new and evolving tools by teaching them how and where to go to learn themselves. This is everything. They need to know where they can find the most recent tutorials. They need to be able to distinguish what makes a good or poorly created tutorial. And I encourage them to create their own tutorials to figure out how to learn the new tools that come at their fingertips.
One way I support students' continual learning of new tools is, first of all, myself learning these new tools and seeing what's trending, and then applying them in the classroom and allowing students to try out these tools and so many different ones so that they have many different choices.
I basically crowdsource when I'm trying to learn about new technology. I pick the brains of my friends and colleagues. I frequently ask my adult students to share their ideas, and my young friends to share with me the technology that they're enjoying. I can often find ways to incorporate that in the things that I'm teaching about.
To support my students in learning the ever-evolving range of tools that are available, I make sure that I'm up to date with what Adobe is doing and what other tools are doing, and I'm constantly sharing with them great ways to use different tools. We cover them in class, but we also have groups, say on Facebook as well, and I often share new tools and new ways to use them in our little communities that are building online as well.